oh, what the owner of the house gave to me is chalk white, but what I'm seeing right now is not chalk white. That's an issue. You pick that and then you go and report to the owner that I saw something. Oh, this the color that the painter used is not chalk white. It's this other color. In that sense, that color did not meet with the specification and the requirements of what the product owner. Sorry, let me not use product owner. I don't want to use the software word. I'm trying to use a real life scenario of what the house owner wants. That is what we call a bug in the software testing world. So this example I just gave now is explaining three things: the product owner, the software requirement itself, and the final outcome. Now, these three works together. The product owner gave their requirements, the software tester comes in to confirm that the final outcome of the house matches with what the product owner gave to him or her as what they expect. That is like a very plain picture of what software testers does, right? A software tester's role, majorly software tester role in real sense, is to confirm that the software application meets the specified requirements. And not just that, because the specified requirements always comes from the product owner themselves, but also meets the customer's requirements. Customer requirements in the sense that it's not the product owner that is going to use the application, right? It's the customers that are going to use the application. So whatever the product owner, the software developer, the designer, whatever everyone is doing, we are trying to achieve one goal, which is to produce an end product for the users. So I, as a software tester, I'm coming in as the user of the application, the person, or I'm coming as the person that's going to be living in that house. Because it's possible that the owner of the house did not build it for himself, probably built it to rent it out. So I'm now coming in as the person that's going to live in the house. So as the person that's going to live in the house, I know what the person that's going to be staying in the house, I know what I would like, or I know what I don't like in the house. So I would report it back to the owner of the house. And in that sense, it's my responsibility to make sure that that issue is fixed before I move to the next phase. So this is just like a general idea of what software testing is about.
Are you sure you're not going to become a teacher like this? Because see the way you broke it down. Like I said layman, but this is really explanatory. And I think I have a better hold of what software testing is. Because I mean the real estate example you used was very practical. Almost everybody here lives in a house, right? So, and we all have choices, right? So your job is going to be very interesting. I mean, you're going to be seeing different softwares. Do you enjoy
Yeah,
it?
I trust me, it is very
Of course you
interesting.
do. And there's plenty. Don't worry, we're coming back to that one.
All right.
Thank you so much, Stella. This is really superb. I hope she kill it. Hey, you people, don't let her kill it. Oh, let her find it alive. But then you people should get your questions ready. I know that you're going to have questions already. Get them ready so that when I throw the opportunity to you, you can actually ask your questions. All right, Stella. Thank you so much, Abimbola. So I have a question for you, Abimbola. Can you hear me, Abimbola?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So I want you to explain UIUX to me and to everybody on this call. For someone who is hearing UIUX for the very first time, to a newbie in this career path, how would you explain UIUX to them, or product design?
Okay. Now you said or product design. So I think I will start with product design slash UI UX. So for those that are just joining, for those that maybe this is the first time, but then even if this is the first time you'll be hearing something like this, I think that UI UX is a very common word that has been thrown around a lot lately, right? And there's also some people mix it like they use it interchangeably. Is it UI UX design? Is it product design? Some people think that it's the same thing. Some people think it's different. So what exactly is it? Yeah. So let's start with UI/UX. So UI/UX means the UI stands for user interface. That's you and I, user interface. And then the UX part stands for user experience. So if I say user experience, that's you, and the next word there is experience, which is E. But then if you look at it, experience, let's start with the consonant there. So that's experience, UX. You get UX still sounds better than UE. So UI/UX. So it's just easy in the mouth, UI/UX. So what exactly is it? So like I said, interface. Interface means that something you can see, something that you can see, you can interact with. So for example, we are on Google Meet right now, and you can see on your phone, on your laptop, that you can see the participants, you can see the red button if you want to leave, you can see where you can raise your hand. All of those things are features of the UI. That means they are features of what we are currently seeing. So this is the UI of Google Meet right now. Now the experience comes, that's the UX part, comes when we are interacting with it as it is ongoing right now. You can see the screen, you can hear my voice, you can hear yours voice, you can listen, you can actually carry out activities on your own using this platform, meaning you are interacting with it, and from your interaction you are getting an experience. Now whatever experience you are getting from it depends on how this platform has been built and how you as a user are using it. Do you find it easy to use? Do you find it convenient, or you don't want it? Trust me, Google Meet is good to use, and that's why we keep using this, isn't it? So that is an explanation. Now let me bring it down further. So okay, let me look for a fine boy here. I'm coming. Ayo, have you introduced I'm seeing Gentle and look like a fine handsome man. I answer that question before I
But
make my
don't lose
example.
focus. So you will introduce it. Don't lose
Alright,
focus. Because
trust
you're
me, I
already
don't
saying
lose.
someone. Don't lose focus.
Trust me, I don't used to lose focus. So what I'm going to say is that, so I can see Gentle here, and so me looking at Gentle right now, it looks like he has a good UI, meaning that it looks appealing. I can see what his physics looks like, oh, it is fine, it's handsome, it's dark, oh, nice. Now his UX would be, what kind of person is he? Is he nice? Is he humble? Is he gentle? Is he a noisemaker? Is he rude? That's his UX. So look at what I said now. The UI and UX part works hand in hand together. For you to have a good experience, you need to have a good UI. You need to first of all be attracted to something. You need to make it attractive. Now the UX comes with how do you feel when you are interacting with that interface. That's the X. How do you feel when you are interacting with the UI? So that's the explanation. This is his UI. This is what I can see. His UX is the kind of person he is. Google Meet right now, this is what we are looking at is the UI. The UX is how do we feel while we are on this call. Now, I mentioned product design. So product design is more like there's the UI part, the UX part, and then all in all, we want to balance it with business requirements, making profits. We are not all about, okay, this is the satisfaction we get from it or that. But how do we balance it with the business requirements? How do we make profit out of these things? So that's why you see that has been used interchangeably. But I feel that I want to believe that you understand the difference now. Am I correct?
Yeah, Bimbola, thank you so much for that explanation. And thank you for using gentle as an example. I mean, I hope people understand now the difference between UI and UX. UI is not University of Ibadan. Abimbola has said it, user interface. And I like the explanation you used about every platform or software, for example, how it looks, how it attracts you to it. The features you can see, like Google Meet, you can click on microphone and all that. That's the interface. But then how you feel when you're using it. I mean, there are some apps that I've downloaded. Okay, so there was this time that I downloaded this um diet diary, something like that, where I can write in the things I eat daily. And funny thing is the logo and everything on Play Store was so sweet and so attractive. And I clicked and I was like, oh, nice. And then when I got into the app, it was so technical, and I was like, what is this? What is this? I beg. For example, you want to fill in one food, they are saying first letter of the food, last letter. Something I'm like, Please let me just write my rice in peace or my eba. Which one is that should be writing first letter of the food and all that? And I mean, that's the user experience. It wasn't so cool for me. So I think I really understand this, and I hope every other person also understood that explanation because it was very, very explanatory and practical enough. Thank you so much, Abimbola. So Abimbola was almost losing focus, but then we have someone important here too, which is Gentle, who is Gentle, and Gentle is also a software engineer. Gentle, can you hear me this evening?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Gentle.
Hi, good evening. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening. Please, can you introduce yourself to us? Tell us what you do, who you are, and what we should anticipate from you this night.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my name is Gentle Lesong. I'm a software QA and test engineer. Currently, I have 6 years of work experience trying to break applications and find bugs. Yeah, so tonight I provide a bit of this experience in answering your question and helping to guide those who are ready to have this soft landing into tech. Thank you.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Gentle. But for you, Gentle, are you gentle?
Yeah, so that's been one of the hardest questions for me to answer. So I think it's a perspective thing, and
Hmm.
I would leave that for everyone to find out.
Anytime you people hear perspective, just so that the person is not gentle. But we're going to find out ourselves from our own perspective this night. So, Gentle, thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor to have you here. We hope to get so much knowledge from you, and we hope to get the very best from you. It's such an honor once again to have you here. And Gentle, so I'm going to be throwing a question to you and software testing. So Stella already gave us an idea of what software testing and quality assurance is, and that has really set a very good foundation for us. And I think almost everyone here now has a very, very good understanding about software testing. But then I know Stella talked about software testing, and she also mentioned that she's a software quality assurance testing professional. Now, Gentle, I would like to ask you that what is the difference between software quality assurance and software testing to you, or do you think they are the same?
Okay, so I think for some time, these things are used interchangeably, but I think it's important to note that software quality assurance is a broad term that takes into consideration all the processes that are involved prior to development of the software and after development of the software to ensure that the software meets the requirements and is consistent with industry best practice and standards. Now, when we come to software testing is a part of software quality assurance that is focused on ensuring or is focused on validating the product after development to ensure that it meets the requirements. So for us to be able to test, there must be a product. Something has to be implemented for it to get tested. But QA generally is not just about testing, it also involves procedures prior to development. So in building or in determining what the requirements for this software are, we need to take into consideration the quality assurance processes across all the phases. Now, there are phases of software development. I wouldn't want to go there, but everyone involved, in the chain of developing the software will need to adhere to a certain quality that is consistent with that phase. But in testing, we test when the product has been developed and we try to check that what has been developed meets the specified requirements or the product specification. So this is like the difference anyways between quality assurance and testing. Thank you.
Hmm. Nice point. Nice point. Thank you so much, Gentle, for that. So it means that since there's a bit of difference, right, and it seems like QA is like the daddy, well, then software testing is under QA. So it means that Stella is a grandmama because she's doing both. Stella, come and fight for yourself. Because you are doing father and child together, QA and then software testing. That's
One
awesome.
in Nigeria, don't they say you can't have more that you can't have just one hustle? So
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
then I'm
People
like,
write
what?
it punchline. Punchline is words of the deep. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you, Gentle. Thank you, Stella. But then I'm interested in hearing you guys' story. But let me ask Abimbola a question first. I'd like to know how you got yourself into this software testing. I mean, compared to many other tech areas, I feel like quality assurance or software testing is underrated or not talked about quite enough. Because I personally believe that if you get like 10 Nigerians, especially, and you ask them, oh, have you heard about data analytics? 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 will say, I know data analytics. But if you ask about software testing, they're like, you say, what? Is that a career? I mean, so I'd like to know how you got into this. So get ready to tell your stories, you both. But let me ask Abimbola a question. Abimbola, can you hear me?
Yeah, so
Okay, Abimbola, I want you to tell me now, between UI and UX, which is more important?
sorry, this is your question is funny.
I
I'm permitted
mean,
to
I'm just
laugh.
asking from a sincere mind, sincere heart.
I guess which one is more important? Well, both of them are very, very important. They are not, as I say, you cannot detach them from themselves. They work hand in hand. They are five and six. Do you get that? Because for you to be able to get an experience, for you to experience something, it means that you have to interact with it. And so
Mm,
experience is something that it's not, how do I explain? It's not something, it's not a physical thing, it's more of a feeling. How do you feel when you interact with something? That's the experience. And so UI means that you're interacting with that interface. So that's why I said you cannot separate them from themselves. So for me, oh, it's still both of them. Do you
mm.
get that?
The two,
Yes.
both of them, both of them. Okay, I mean, but now the thing is, the reason I'm asking is, I see some job postings, and they say, user experience. What's the word they use? UX. I think UX professional needed. Some will say UI professional needed. And I'm
Yeah.
wondering, are they separable? Would you say it is better for someone to learn both together in terms of job hunting now? Do you think companies
Okay.
prefer someone that has both skills together, or they prefer someone that has UI separately than UX separately? From your
Okay, yes.
experience.
So I can relate to what you said. There are some job posting that you will see that they will say UI designer needed, UX designer needed. There are many titles: UX professional, UX researcher, information architecturist. There are a lot, yes. But do not get confused. It's still, they don't mean the same thing. But then UI UX is the basis of this whole thing. So it's better that you learn UI and learn UX. They work together. So then afterwards you can decide that, oh, you want to base strictly on UI. So the way I see UI, the way we see it is like UI is like advanced graphic design. If you just want to be a UI person, it's as if you're an advanced graphic designer. So because why I said advanced is because of the tools you'll be using, because of the thinking process that goes into all of these design processes, and now you're not going to be doing flyers or what about, you're going to be dealing with things that people are going to use, not just for its beauty, but that people are going to use this product. It's just like the example you made, that you said that, so you saw this diet planning something and it looks very nice, but then the experience wasn't so good for you. So do you get? So it's better you learn both, and then along the line you can decide that you want to specialize in one of them.
Hmm, okay. So it just means that um to be more considered, is there a word like that? To have a greater chance in the job world or workspace, it's better to
Yeah.
have both skills. Then maybe when you become a boss,
Exactly, then.
then you can
Yeah.
now specialize. Thank you so much, Abimbola. But before you go, Abimbola, let me ask you this. Is it possible for someone to become a UI UX designer without any background in tech before? Like, do they have to study computer science or software engineering in school to become a UI UX designer?
No, not at all. I mean, okay,
Wait,
so till
let me
now,
ask, what did you study in
okay,
school?
okay. This is your question. Okay, I know that I'm already on hot seat today, so no wala.
A choice
I studied forestry and wildlife. Yeah.
for forestry.
Yes. Be forestry and wildlife. That's what my certificate holds.
Let me
So
not
that's
look
what
as
it
if I was
means.
laughing at your 4 years or 5 years in school.
Ah, please, oh, it's a professional course and it was 5 years, so please.
5 years, wow. Please
Okay, I
mute your
think
mic. Mr.
that
Olatunji Akonti, mute your mic, or else
Olatunji.
I will remove you from the call. Mute your mic, everybody here.
Bring
Mute
your
your
plate.
mic.
I'm doing it.
I think Olatunji wants to eat. Anyway, let me answer your question.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, but like, wow, this is very nice. I mean,
So
wow,
till
wow.
today, I keep getting that question of how come? I mean, how come?
Yeah, how
And
did
even
you
my
get into UI UX?
yeah, I mean, so I think that there's always this thing with us. If you discover who you are, you know your strong points, you know what you can do. Although there are times that most times you just need light to direct you. You need light to shine on you. You need
Focus on
someone
the
to
word,
hold
ma.
your hand. Well, not from Futa, Akinko to you're thinking I've seen your alumnus here or what they call it. No, I'm from Unilorin. It was from Unilorin. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is so from a very young age I've always loved designs like dribbling, writing. I mean, things that just looked really nice, but I didn't really see it as something I could make. I didn't see it as something I could make a career out of. Do you understand? And so eventually, along the line, I think that was in maybe penultimate year at the university, and then I started hearing this UI UX, and I'm like, wait, what's happening? Let me even see what it is. And I mean, it was just like you took a step into a room filled with possibilities, and I mean since then you can't even look back. Do you get? So you don't need to know how to code, or if you did computer science, you just need your brain to be active. Let me put it that way. You need to be ready to learn, you need to be ready to learn. So even if you are someone that maybe is not so creative like that, but for the fact that you know how to learn, so you know this saying that says I think hard work beats talent. Tickets is that it? Remind me. So if you're someone that knows how to learn, you want to improve, do better, you find your fit here. That's it.
Hmm. Abimbola, tell us the truth, woman to woman, sister to sister. Tell me the truth. Was money also, because you are saying you had passion, you like this? Was money also a passion booster for you for UIUX?
Hey, this is your questions, eh? But wait. Why would I spend time and effort and energy to learn something if it's not going to give me plenty money? Come on. Of course.
We are
In fact,
taking
that's
that
the
one.
icing on the cake. That's the main reason. Put passion aside, please. I like
Boy,
money. Yes, I will admit it. And
I
yes, it's
like
giving me
that.
what I want.
I like that you're not shy. You're owning up your thing. I like it. I like it. That's the spirit. I really get it. And I mean, it's funny that these days, I mean, I've interacted with a lot of tech people, and sometimes I'm always amazed at what they studied in school and what they're doing. I'm like, what? How did you get here? But then I like the fact that you like what you do, because that's something very important. If you don't like what you do, you'll get tired and you can fizzle out easily. And I also like the fact that what you do that you like is giving you money, like money. Thank you so much, Abibola. Thank you for sharing your story with us, and thank you for telling us how you became a UIX professional. Now,
Welcome.
thank you. Over to Gentle. Gentle, that is gentle based on perspective. Gentle, can you tell us how you got into software testing or into quality assurance? How you became a QA engineer?
Yeah, so for me, I got to know about software development sometime in 2018. Then I was a student at the University of Ibadan. studying Master of Public Health in Environmental Health Sciences. And I was doing well, and I had prospects to pursue PhD in bioinformatics, or what they call health informatics. So I was interested in how data works and data analysis and all of that. And I had a project supervisor who was very good with stuff like that. So I pursued things around that and got a scholarship for PhD at Chicago. But somehow, in the process of pursuing data science, I stumbled on software engineering. And I had quite a number of friends at the time who knew like a thing or two. So I decided to take a course in front-end development, actually. So when I took a course in front-end development, it was an encompassing course and also taught us about QA. And it was after taking that course that I decided to pursue a career in software testing. So from 2018, when I was done with that course, I had an internship in a company, and I was doing that side by side by master's program in UI. And that was how I got here. And so when I got into the career, I realized at the time that my certificate was not relevant. I'd done 2 foreign jobs with company who never asked me what I studied or what was the level of my education. They were just interested in what I could do and the value I could bring to the table. So when I saw that this is a little bit different from what we do, because for those of us in health sciences, of course, you need to get so much of certifications and you need to score certain grades and get a lot of recommendation from professors to break into NGO. And if you were like me, who wanted to work with World Health Organizations and all of that. So I saw that it was easier here if you had the skill and if you are focused, right? So I now decided to embark on a journey where I tried to move most of my friends to software testing as well. And I'm proud to say that I started from my family. So I was able to move 3 siblings who are now software QAs professionally, and they are working, right? I have quite a number of friends who have successfully moved, into software testing as well, and they are doing fine. And so far, I think I've mentored about 50 plus people from 2018 till now who are successfully working as software testers. So this has been my story, and I keep on doing this, right? And I know this call is another opportunity to to encourage someone. And just as everyone has said, of course, there's a passion part of it. There's also a money part of it, right? So I just used to tell people, between passion and money, just choose your battles wisely. Yeah, thank you.
Gentle, please be gentle on us. It's too much. Wait a minute. Did I hear you say public health? So you're part of people that are supposed to be inspecting our public water and maybe public toilets so that we are going to be healthy. But no, you left us for money. Gentle, you left us for money. It is well. And then let me ask you, did you go for that PhD scholarship?
Yes, so I didn't take it, though I had submitted a proposal for research, but I dropped when I had, offers that were 10 times better than doing a PhD.
Hey. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is wow. This is wow. I mean, imagine someone ditching Chicago certificates. You guys. Hey, okay. Oh, thank you so much, Gentle, for sharing your story. More you're saying you're encouraged because it's money matter. Nigeria, see people. But then this is really encouraging and this is nice. I enjoyed your story. I enjoyed your story. Somebody's already saying greatest UI. You people should not bring school here, because we that will not go to UI, we are human beings to beg. So thank you so much, Gentle. And for the people that you have indoctrinated into software testing, congratulations to them into the money making system too. I mean, it's awesome to hear your story. Thank you, Gentle. Now, Stella, let us hear your own story. How did you get into software testing? Don't tell me you studied animal production yet, please.
The funny part, hearing everyone's story, I'm already laughing. So I don't know how funny my own my own sound.
Wait,
Because
what what was your major in school, and how did you get into software testing?
Okay, I studied accounting in school. I studied
Stella, you're supposed to
accounting.
be putting our money in bank, but you run away from money. Ah,
In fact, I was already on the verge of writing my ICANN. The most surprising
wow.
part is even that I used to work in the bank. Okay, let me just start the whole story from there. So I actually used to be a banker, right? I used to work with Polaris Bank at their head office. So this whole software testing thing, the whole software testing idea started right from there. While I was working as a banker then, I remember in my department, I used to be what's the if I can remember, that's asset management, right? So while operating on my system, because we have a lot of applications that we normally use to work. So I remember then that I used to, they always say I complain a lot. Me and IT team, yeah, we're always going back and forth because I always complain to them. And then there's this perfection, should I say, hello?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ask me to the person. I'm removing them right now. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
so that time I'm always complaining. I'm a perfection person. Like when I see things when I see things not looking arranged or not working as they should, I normally get kind of irritated also. So that's the reason why I was always complaining then. Maybe the applications are not working well or it's hanging or something like that. So I had to. There was this day I went to the IT department because I worked in the head office, so I was able to access like most of all the center departments of the bank. So I went to the IT department that day, and I think I had a discussion with one of the IT guys, and I was like, "Can't why? I mean, why that day? Because I went to so much anger because there was a transaction I was trying to execute, and it was like 9 minutes because my boss was already on my neck from my our group head, our department head. They were all on my neck waiting for me to execute that task. And then I was on the verge of executing, and I was having issues with that application exactly. So I just stormed to the IT department, and I was like, can't this, who is even in charge of the software, can't. So the guy was not trying to explain to me that we are not, because we are not the one doing this, we're not the one doing that. So I was like, is it not from one desk? Is it not from one desk checking the application if it works? Like our responsibility is just to develop that. They also have another people in charge of doing this and that and that. And it started becoming interesting from there. It was one that explained how the whole software world works. That it's not just developers that do this thing from beginning to the end. There are also some police people at the back that are always throwing the shots that, oh, this is not working right, this is what not working right. So he explained to me that maybe they have not found those issues, because if they had, they would have dropped the ticket on their parts, and me as the person using the application, I would not be facing such issues. So it started getting interesting from there. I went to my desk that day. I remember I was going through, I started asking questions from my some of my colleagues that I know that were into it, right? Even that it was because of this that I left the banking industry. Like I started growing interest, I started developing interest, and I was like, do you know what? Since they also said this tech thing is bringing in money, going
I
through
was
the
waiting for
application,
that part.
I will still get there. Going through the job applications that I was seeing and the salary rates and what I was hearing. Let me just, go, since it's something I'm already like developing interest in. It will work hand in hand, the interest and the money part. So I just
Word, word, word.
so that was how I resigned from the banking industry, and I started pursuing my tech career. But even when I resigned, I didn't go for software testing immediately because I went for project management. I started taking the course on Coursera, a 6 months course. I started with project management. But that's why they say go for something that I always tell people this thing, go for something that fits your personality, right? I already know myself that I like things to come out as, even if not 100% perfect, but at least close to being perfect, right? So that's particular inherent skills match with software testing. I was pursuing project management, but I was not.
One more project manager. This one that you go, hey, they go year round.
The truth is, I was not just feeling it. Like I was just feeling like I was going through a wrong path, right? And even when I finished, I was like, okay, I was just confused. I didn't even know where to start from. Like, it was just not sinking. I was trying to execute projects on my own, but it wasn't sinking. I was like, do you know what? Let me just let me try. Let me try. As I immediately I enrolled in a boot camp for software testing. Right. I finished my training during the boot camp, during the training, man. If I were not even done with the training now, I've already started, going to all those job sites. I was so
See where
motivated
they
and
find money.
but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way though. So I was so motivated, and I noticed that I was doing it, the kind of joy that I derived while I was executing most of all those tasks, compared to how I was feeling when I was pursuing the project management thing. There was a huge difference, and I also had this beauty of looking at something and not being not like watching something not being properly put, and then coming back, this beauty, it has this beauty evolvement, like a lot of things has been changed, and then everything just looks so perfect, and I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I just went in line and started going deeper and deeper and deeper. Right. Don't forget though, I studied accounting. I studied accounting. So along the line, when I finished, along the line, I was having this fear of, if I start looking for job, would I I kept asking that question. Does it make any sense? Right? Saying your school certification as accountants, and then just come on that you're putting software. How does that relate? I was really discouraged at some point. I'm like, do you know what? Let me just go for it. So that's how I went into the labor market. Just like what Gentle mentioned, they didn't even look at my CV self. Like the first project that I got was on Upwork. They didn't request for my CV at all. The question you're just asking me, like what can we get? Do you understand? There was nothing like what did you study in school? What did you graduate? Did you graduate first class? Do you get? So after I finished that interview that day, I remember I had that discussion with my sister. And I was like, did I just finish an interview or a discussion? Because I remember the interviews that I took while I was looking for accounting roles, and I knew how strict and how overwhelming it was for me. But then for the tech interview, for the software test interview, it was just more of like we're having a discussion on how to execute this and that. So it was really very interesting, and that was how my journey started. I mean, and it started going from one step to another. I started gathering more skills, and I started upgrading. I was doing the whole freelancing thing. That the freelancing thing really gave me an edge, right? It gave me an edge, and it was through the freelancing that I started having like
Don't
returning.
let tell them that one. We'll come back to that one. Don't worry. Come back
Okay.
there, don't worry. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Stella. But then, I think there were certain things I noted from what you said, and it just makes sense. Number one, you understood your personality and your strengths. And this is funny because, okay, because I'm the brand manager, I get inquiries from people several times that would ask me, oh, please, what do you advise me to go to do in tech? And I'm like, I cannot advise you. You will know what you are good at or what you are great at, and then I can tell you, okay, these are the tech areas that are tailored towards this your strength. Then you can now decide after doing your research, because people just expect that just tell me and I'll go for it. So what if I tell you go into this? Even you, for example, that made the decision yourself to go into project management, you later found out it wasn't for you, or you wouldn't enjoy it
Yeah,
as much as you are now, right? So that's a
yeah,
very valid
exactly.
point. That's a very valid point. Number two, you mentioned the interest and passion. Sorry, the money and interest will be growing hand in hand. I like that point.
Yeah,
I like that
hand in
point.
hand, you know.
I'm like, yeah, I like that point. I like that point. That's number two. Number three, I also realized that the environment you were also should I is that what like boosted? I think boosted is right. It boosted your interest. For example, when you had people explain that, oh, they were police people or people that would check softwares and all, that also helped you garner interest in this. Imagine you were just alone and you didn't even have anybody to tell you nice things, and that's one of the reasons we have this free session. Now there are people that have heard about career paths, but they want to know more to decide or to make their decision if they should actually go for these careers or not. And this is actually a great place. Like minds are here, or like-minded people are here. People like Stella, Gentle, Abimbola, sharing their sweet and real story. I think it just makes sense. Thank you so much, Stella. I mean, I learned so much from this. I'm even already thinking maybe I should go and do software testing, because you and Gentle, you guys,
You're
I mean,
welcome. Yeah,
thank you
we
so much.
welcome you. We welcome
And
you.
you're not even like Abimbola that did forestry. You even did accounting. You just coming down from bank. Imagine. No problem. But I mean, it makes all sense that you like what you do and you're making money from it. Like I said earlier. Thank you so much, you guys. Now I'm going to be asking Abimbola a question. Abimbola, I hope you have not left me here. Can you hear me?
Listening to Stella's story like this, I'm just smiling
It
since.
motivated you. In fact, in the comment section, somebody said, I'm loving this story. Strength my hope. I will blow soon. You will blow, don't worry.
You blow.
You will blow. And somebody is saying, so that Upwork actually work. Wow. You hear
Yeah,
something
it
say
does.
Upwork, it dey work now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, Abimbola, do you think in UIUX, because I know Gentle and Stella made a statement that two of them made separately, which was many times that they sought for jobs, people did not even bother asking, what did you do in your first degree and all of that. Now, let me ask you, UIUX design, do you think certification is a big deal in landing roles in UIUX design from your experience?
Do I think certification is a
Is a big deal, like certification
okay?
in UIUX design, like is it a big deal?
Yeah, as it is now, sometimes I feel that there are some certain certification courses that we take just to say, maybe just to boost your CV or make it look as if you want to add some like shoulder pad to it. But in the real sense of things, it just really boils down to what you can really do, and that's what people are after. They don't want to just be putting their money into, oh, because she has this and this and that, but what can he or she really do? So to me, it's not a big deal, but then it's still advisable that, I mean, there's some certificates that you can get for free. There's some certification courses online that if you are, how do I say, if you have the advantage of getting them, then why not? But then that's not like the biggest deal of all. The main thing for you is to get your skills right. Be very good at what you are doing. That's what matters. Okay, I think there's a question, but that's what really matters. So for me, I don't know if I've answered that question. If you can get education, fine. But the main thing is know what you are doing and know how to sell yourself, know how to pitch yourself. Let them see what you can do. Because it's not enough to have that mouth and start saying stories. We want to see you back it up with evidence. When you have evidence, you will not need to shalaye.
Hmm. Hmm. I get that. It's just like saying, oh, for example, let's use Stella as an example. Let's say Stella really wanted to do accounting. Yes, the certification is not the biggest deal, but what can you do? You said you did accounting. Okay, what can you do? How can you help us in the bank? And that's what people really want to know. But the certification is like an icing on the cake, right, Abimbola?
Yes, you said yes,
Yes,
yes, you are very
it's
correct. Yeah,
like an icing. Yes, okay.
exactly.
And thank you so much. But now, Abimbola, let me ask you this now. What would you advise? A boot camp or self-learning? Self-learning in the sense that maybe you go to YouTube, go to Google,
Yeah,
find
I get.
information, or enrolling in a boot camp. Really, what do you advise?
Definitely a boot camp. And this is not because I'm here to talk about travel tech, no, but because that's what has worked for me. So before I got here, I joined several boot camps, several where I paid, because when you pay for something, you value it more. That's the truth. And sometimes when you see these free things, everybody wants free things, but sometimes most of these things are not well organized. So
Mhm.
when you know that you've devoted your time, your money, your effort into something, you want to make best use of it. And then me, I don't even know my own discipline level, but I knew that that self-learning thing cannot work. So yes, even though I'm in boot camp, I was in boot camps then, right? I still go to YouTube to learn things, because you always still need to learn things on your own. Even after the training, you still need to. I mean, technology is always evolving, so there are always new things to learn. So you need to know how to self-learn. Yeah. But then, for you to be accountable, for you to be fast, for you not to make mistakes, let me put it that way, you cannot make all the mistakes yourself. So, what's the point of making all those mistakes and something you're supposed to spend, say, 3 months to learn, then you spend a year? What's the point? When you can learn from those that have gone through that way. Do you get it? So yes, YouTube is YouTube school. It's a lot. You find everything there. But then you still need someone to hold your hand. You need your colleagues. You need to interact. You need to share ideas. You need to work on projects together. And so boot camps give you that opportunity. So of course, boot camp.
Wow. This is so profound about the time reduction when you follow a template of people that have gone ahead in boot camps. For example, so my first degree focus was in chemistry, and at some point in my life I just knew that, see, this chemistry thing is not going to work for me. I beg. Apart from the fact that I didn't want to be wearing white lab coats up and down, I just knew that, oh, this thing is not really something I enjoyed. So how I found myself in chemistry, I wanted to do medicine like everybody. My parents said, you must do medicine. We need a doctor in this family. But all these universities, they gave me Ella. So I was like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Let's do chemistry, I beg. And I just felt like, see, this chemistry thing is not working. So I knew that I was going to go into communications. Except you don't like me. If you're on this call, you will know that I'm a good speaker, except you don't like me. So I felt like communications is a great thing for me, and I wanted to specify or specialize in brand strategy. So the first thing I remembered very well, that I went into YouTube. I said, let me even search brand strategy in communications. What can I see? I ran back, because the things I was seeing there, I was like, what is this? What is this? Can I do this thing at all? And just looked so vague. People were just saying different things, that you need to strategize for a company. Let's do this, let's do that. And I was like, I can't even do all these things. Like, maybe it's not for me. But then I just decided to enroll to actually learn it. And I even went to school for it in the US. And I'm like, see, let me learn this thing. And when I got there, I was like, wait a minute. So all these terms people see on YouTube, they are just trying to scare us, right? Now, YouTube is good, like someone said in the comment section, sometimes helpful, but it is wide. Because, for example, in every field, there are areas of specializations, and many people have different areas of specialization. So, for example, like Abimbola said, you can start with UI/UX, but you can specialize into UI later or UX later. Or, like Gentle said, that QA is actually like the keyword, then software testing is under. Now, for example, someone that has gone deep in a particular specification, when they have a YouTube channel, they will definitely talk in line with their own specification or their area of specialization. And you that you're a newcomer, you're just wondering that, why is everything scattered like this? So I think from my own experience too, and I heard Stella also say that she enrolled in a boot camp, it's actually better to enroll in a boot camp. Of course, there is like a template to follow, people that have gone ahead. Imagine someone like Gentle or someone like Stella mentoring you, or someone like Abimbola telling you, this is what I went through from forestry This is how I find myself. And you can say, oh wow, navigate. Rather than you just entering the bush by yourself with thick bush, right? Thank you so much, Abimbola. That was so insightful. Thank you once again. So now I'm going to ask Gentle a question, and is also part of the reason I'm asking is because you made a statement earlier about when you got your PhD offer in Chicago and you found out that you got opportunities that were like 10 times better. And I know that 10 times better is talking about monetary. Now, I want you to be very candid. What is the earning potential of a software tester in Nigeria and outside Nigeria? Don't worry, we're not going to bill you. I promise. Nobody on this call dares bill you. Can you hear me, Gentle?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Now, from experience, what's the earning potential both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria for a software tester?
All right. So this conversation is largely dependent or on one or two factors that may cause a little deviation from the figures I give here. But the figure I would give would be mostly based on what I've seen within friends and what I've seen within mentees and of course mentors as well. So if you start up a career as a QA, likely you are going to get a first offer being an internship offer, and I will peg the salary at 100,000. Now it could be 200, it could be 50,000 lesser, right? Depending on, the company and all of that. But you could also get an offer as a junior QA where you likely earn between 150 200,000 naira if you're working for a Nigerian company. Now you're going to work in that company for 6 months, and you are going to get another offer from another company that will likely give you a 50 to 100% salary raise. So you may likely leave that company, joining another company, and maybe you'll be earning, say, 250. Now you'll be in that company for 1 or 2 years. You'll get another offer to join another company, and you may be earning up to between 300 and 400,000 within 2 years when you're serious or when you are focused on building a career here. Now, these figures I'm giving, they are consistent, right? The deviation could just be between 150,000 less or more. And if you stay in this career for say 3 years to 4 years, and you may be regarded as an intermediate QA, and if you have begun to do things around test automation, then you'll be able to negotiate salaries that are beyond 500,000. But to give a bit of context, when I started, I think the first salary I got was around I think $1,800. So it wasn't in naira. So there are a few people with that kind of trajectory, right? So that's why I can't use that. So what I use is what I know is prevailing within friends, mentees, and all of that. I had a friend who left a bank in 2022. I know at that time she was earning 70,000 working in the bank. Then she got a junior QA offer and they were going to pay her 50,000. She's a mentee that was very serious, right? And I was trying to encourage her to drop the 70,000 naira job and take the 50,000. The reason is because of the prospects. So for the 50,000 job she was doing, I think she was a teller person in the bank. So I was asking her, in the next 5 years, what is there for you? But in this testing now, there could be something for you. But she was just complaining about that the 50K might not be able to cater for her. And also now, because of the relationship we had.
Gentle, I can't hear you anymore.
I was about to say the same thing when I was enjoying the story.
Even me, because I wanted to hear
I
when.
think my
Oh, yes,
network just
okay.
went me out. Yeah, so I was speaking about the mentee, right? Who joined, who was trying to migrate from a bank to software testing. And so when she got an offer for 50,000 naira, and it was difficult for her because the bank were paying her 70 at the time. So because I know she has what it takes, right? And I was really interested to see her grow. I decided to make up the 20,000 for her so she could still be earning 70. So I gave her 20, the new company pay her 50. So she left the bank and she did that job for 3 months. And then she got an offer of 250,000. And in 1 year later, she got another job and they were paying her 450,000. So few months ago, she sent me she a guarantor's form where I had to fill because she was joining a new company that is going to pay her 500 and something thousand. Now, this is between 2022 and 2024. So we have these stories like this, right, that shows how progressive one could be in software testing. Thank you.
Wow, gentle. God will bless you for encouraging her to drop that bank job, because I mean, this is the kind of progress that one prays for. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. I'm really wowed. That's how many percent increase in 2 years. And 2024 just began when. Wow, this is awesome. Ah, hey, God. Tech is the way. Oh. No wonder all of you left your first love, your first degree for tech. No wonder. Now I
Stop
see.
playing.
I
Stop
see,
playing.
Stella. And then wait, Stella, you said that you get gigs from international companies, right?
Yeah, I do.
So that means you two, you're not getting paid in naira. Because Gentle also said his first fee was $1,800.
Don't cast me. Oh.
We will not bill you, don't worry. But me, I can come to your DM. I already have your number, don't worry. I'll come to your DM. Because you guys are making money in Nigeria. All of us are just saying Nigeria, Nigeria. Some people, you don't even know what it is. Well, don't worry. I know what to do. Now we go sort myself. But then, thank you so much, Gentle. Thank you, Stella. That was really eye-opening. Abi, but let me hear you. What is the earning potential for product designers or UIUX designers, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria? Don't, Abi, but don't come and say, give us figures.
Because you think that will say, yeah, no, I'm saying,
That one does not mean I will not still bill you, but then shall tell us.
in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, it's true. It seems I'm getting used to this, but anyway, forgive me. Okay, so, just like Gentle said, it depends on some factors. Depends on where are you working? Is it here? Is it in Nigeria? Is it there? Is it outside? Where is the company? What level is the company? Is it a startup or is it a big organization? Startup meaning that they just started, and there are many of them in Nigeria. So you might want to start from there before moving to the likes of the big company, the fangs, right? So, okay, so let me start from the list, right? I don't want to mention name, but I have a mentee. A mentee. Don't let me mention name. Is a twin, right? Remember? And I
Yes,
remember when
yes, I know,
when he
yes.
sent me his offer letter. That was shortly after his training with us. It was 300K for a start. That's for a start as an intern then.
Wow.
Now
As
I've
much
had
as an intern.
mentees that, yes, I mean it was a full
Wow.
time role, but it just started. So I've had mentees that have gone from 100 and above. So the list 100K, 100 is way too small, even for an intern role. But we're in Nigeria, so I'm trying to be humble. You have to start somewhere, right? And so the limit, there's really no limit to your earning potential because UIX is very important and I mean, even if you look at it in the next 4, 5, 10 years, UIUX roles will always be in demand because there are new products every day. Technology is advancing. Even when they say, AI, will you get your job? My dear, UIUX designers will always be in demand. So it's something that you want to key into. Now, there's really no limit to what you can earn because even when you are working in a company, because of depending on your schedule, how busy you are, what what are you currently doing on that role. You can get gigs, you can work for clients, so it depends on your capability. So for me now, that's why I'm like, for me now, it's true, money is important. So as long as I did not sign a NDA form that, oh, it's only you I can work for as long as I'm here. Oh, please. I'm not ready to sign it because there are many things out there. Freelancing is sweet if you know how to pitch yourself, if you know how to do your business. So you can always get, even aside whatever you're earning. So this is what I'm saying. Remember, aside from the list. So as you let me give you time frame. So okay, you started with say 150 as an intern for a UIUX designer in a startup in Nigeria. And then you know that okay, when you use 6 months, you are done with the probation period. So you can try to stay there or you move. And you know that when you move to another job, of course, you'll be earning nothing less than what you've gotten. It has to be more, it has to have increased. So let's say 250. Moving on, so that should still be within a year. Remember the 6 months for intern, and then now you've moved 250. Now we are moving. Do you want to still work with startups or you want to move? Now, what currency do you want to earn? Is it going to be the naira that we know that's devalued in Nigeria? And or is it that you would want to work with companies over there? Do you understand? Companies abroad, so that at least, so yes, what you were saying that yes, people complain. I just feel like this Nigeria it reminds me of my school when I was in school. So let me use this example. When I was in school, so when is exam period? Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're very audible.
Yes. During exam period, when you ask your friend that, Ayo, have you read? You say, no, hey, I don't know anything. Hey, that's how it is here. How I relate to it here. Now, everybody in Nigeria is shouting, hey, hey, everything is Tinubu, this, that. But my day, the techies, I mean the real techies in Nigeria, they even want to keep staying in this Nigeria. That's the truth. Because they know they are collecting that currency, that foreign one, and all these shouts about Nigeria is they are not feeling it. Because how are we going to feel it? When we are not even, I know the good part of this, sometimes this currency, this whatever you're earning from, you don't even really need to pay tax. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that, but let me just stick to what I'm saying. So what
Yeah,
I'm saying is
that's what
everybody's
I
shouting, but
was
mind
saying.
you,
I
some
knew that
people
Ella will talk. She likes money.
I
Wait.
some
can't
people
see
are
though.
just making it in their corner and see all this stress about see, I beg, see, let's just leave it that way. So what I'm trying to say is it gives you the opportunity to work from anywhere, and depending on, so one thing about any skill is you need to know how to brand yourself. You need to know how to sell yourself. You need to put yourself out there. You need to know how to do these things aside having those skills. Now this would give you the opportunity to, okay, where do you want to work? Do you want to work here? Is it there? And even it will determine to what extent you are going to go. What will you be paid in? So this is what I will say. I really cannot really give quotes to, okay, oh, so if you are 3 years now as a UI expert, you should be earning this. But which is what I'll say. I think I'll give this assignment to everyone here for those interested in UI/UX design. After the call, just go to Glassdoor or Indeed. Just go to Google and type the average salary range of a UI/UX designer. You get? So I think that should give you enough insight. Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Abimbola. Well, you know what? After this call, I'm coming up with a timetable and roster. Monday, Abimbola. Tuesday, Stella. Wednesday, Gentle. I'm coming to sleep at you and eat because only you cannot be earning all this money. Some of us also want to collect money because hey.
You go reach
People come and be
everybody,
my
you go
role
reach
models. So three
everybody.
of you, my mentors. You're not my mentors
You
from
go
today.
reach everybody, don't worry.
All of us they just they shout Nigeria. I should know all of us they it is well. Don't worry. I they come your DMs not one by one. But then Abimbola, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Now you mentioned something about branding yourself and how you can pitch yourself too. And I know that Stella also talked about her doing freelancing gigs or getting freelancing gigs, and Abimbola also said freelancing is also sweet, even aside your normal full-time job. Now I'm going to ask Stella, in QA or in software testing, particularly, when we talk about soft skills, because I know many people focus on the technical skills of the job, like let me learn what is software testing, let me learn the softwares I can use, all of this, all of that. And many people neglect soft skills that they need, both in interviews or during job what's the job trying sessions, or even in, I don't know, but there are many soft skills that I know must have helped you land the gigs that you have landed, that are even apart from the technical skills in software testing. So, like, can you share with us some of these soft skills that someone who is looking for a role in software testing need to have to land a role?
Okay. The first most important is attention to details. It's very, very generic for software testers and QA testers, whichever one you might be working with. Attention to details, because I mean your role here is to, as a software tester, generally is to fish out issues. So you the same way a developer would look at a written text. This thing is okay now. It's not that develop it. Even aside that, a product designer would look at a tech at that same text and like this thing is okay. But a software tester won't just glance at it. They are meant to, like, this 3D view. That's why I said eagle eye. This 3D view. If you look at that same, if a software tester look at that same text, mind you, they can fish out issues from the same thing. Four people must have said this thing is good to go or this thing is fine, and that you can only do that if you have the skill of attention to details. As a software tester, you won't be rushing anymore, right? You have to take your time. You have to take your time to always go through things. The second one is communication. If you fish out issues, you must have that you must have that communication skills, in the sense that if you want to communicate that issues to whoever is going to fix it, even to reporting it to the product owner, the way you are going to report it depends on how or where the developer will pick it from. If you tell the developer, oh, the issue I'm seeing here is that let me know this application, this button is not clickable. The developer already have the idea that, okay, what is going there to fix is a functional issue. You can't click the button. And then the developer goes to fix it and brings it back to you that, oh, it has been fixed. Kindly retest. And then you're telling him, no, that's not what I said you should do. I said it's not clicking and it does not look well. There's already an issue there because you did not communicate that issue well to the developer. Communication skills help you um to report issues in a way that everybody can understand. The developer understands it very, very clear and he knows what exactly you're talking about. The product owner also, because while reporting issues, you're not just pushing to the developer to fix. You're also the product owner is also assessing that tickets, and if he does not understand, there's no way he can be able to flow or can be able to track that particular issue. So you have to have communication issue. Another one is brainstorming. As a software tester, you won't just be dropping bug cards on the plates. Oh, this issue, that issue, fix. No, you are also meant to work with the software developer on how, because there are times that these developers, I mean, they're focused on writing codes, on bringing something to life. Okay, this is your specification. They just bring it to life and tell you I'm done. You get, but they really don't have that skill of how would I put it? They don't have that skill of reproducing issues. I mean, they've done their work. It's your role as the software tester to work with them to brainstorm how to fix some certain issues. You don't just drop bugs on the plate and go because that's your job. No, you are also meant to have. You're also meant to have that skill of how to work with someone in order to get it fixed. In as much as you're dropping those issues, how can we fix it? You understand? Because the end goal of the software application is quality. So just dropping the bugs on the plate will not get that issue fixed. Another, the last one is teamwork. As a software tester, you'll be working with a lot of people, working with the project manager, you'll be working with the software developer, you'll be working with the product owner, you'll be working with the product designer. So in that sense, you must learn how to be able to manage. And let me not say manage because that's like general role of the project manager. So you should learn how to work closely with, like work closely with group of people. Working with group of people still mothers communication and brainstorming. So teamwork is like a major skill that a software tester have to have. Yeah, those four are like the majors.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Stella. And to everybody that has been your throat has been because you have heard the money part. Now, these are the soft skills that you need to put in consideration. If you know that you are not good at teamwork, this might be something you need to work on. If you know that you don't know how to communicate clearly, this might be things you need to work on. Because aside from the technical part, there's also the soft skill that would help you land the job and work smoothly. Thank you so much, Stella, for the points. I mean, they are very, very practical and they are very realistic. Thank you so much, Stella. Now, I'm going to take questions from people. First off, someone is saying, what is the difference between API testing and automation testing? Gentle, could you please answer that?
Yeah, okay. So I think the perfect question to ask is what's the difference between manual testing and automation testing? And then I'll speak about the API anyway. So in software testing, right? Majorly what we do is that we specify the expected behavior of the software, which is a function of the requirement or the product specification, as it were. And when we have specified the expected behavior, the developers make this software available in a platform or in an environment where we can interact with it, right? But just to provide a bit of context, this software under test is not currently available for the end users at the time of testing anyways. So what we do is we go into the software and we check to see that the actual result, which is what is the current behavior of the software, matches with the expected behavior that is coming from the requirement. So when this verification or validation has to be done by a human, like a human is doing it, so that's a manual test. So, but when this would be done by a machine, then that's an automation test, right? So that's the difference. In the manual test, a human being is carrying out this thing manually. In an automated test, we are instructing a machine to do that. And you know, when a machine is doing that, it's quite faster than a human would be fast, right? So that's just the difference. And then for API is just is an interface of a software, right? Just as we have the UI, we have the API, we have the database. So I believe the question is actually what's the difference between manual and automation testing, which I've just provided a bit of clarity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gentle. So I hope that person got that already. Thank you, Gentle. Now I'm going to take a question from people raising their hands. Classy, you can speak now. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
So I actually have a lot of questions, but I'll make it very quick. Thank you very much for the contributions of everyone so far. It's been interesting. So I wanted to ask, first of all, someone that is into project management and you want to get into software testing as an added advantage, please, how do you proceed? That's my first question.
Okay, yeah, I think you should ask the questions you have and then we'll take it one after the other. Like ask all at once.
Okay, then he talked about the automated testing and the manual testing. I would also want to understand the functional tests and the I wish he elaborated further on how this testing works. And I would also appreciate if we can use how do I say, like, context terms. Like when he was explaining, he was trying to, make it very simple, but making it simple sometimes, like making it very simple and not maybe using the definite terms, can be really confusing for me. So I'm talking about Mr. Gentile that was explaining automated test and the manual testing. So how does the functional and the non-functional testing come into that? So I don't know whether my two questions were clear. The first thing is, as a project manager that also wants to inculcate software testing as an added advantage, where do you start? How do you go about that? And then I also want to understand the automated testing and the manual testing clearer, and how functional and non-functional testing comes in there, where you have the unit testing and all of that. Just basically like types of testing and how we work, something like that.
All right, thank you, Classy. So the first question I'll direct to Stella. Stella, tell us how you transitioned or transited from project management and into software testing. And I think Gentle will handle the second question since it started off with the explanation. So I would say 3 minutes each because of our time.
Okay. Okay. It's a very direct answer. Like I said, the first step I did was project management to software testing. You would, because even as a software tester, at some certain point, if you're trying to go into like a senior software tester, you still need that project management skill. So they still work hand in hand. I'll tell you that. So transitioning is very, very straightforward. Just if you're enrolled in a boot camp, right? Enroll in a boot camp and get the necessary training you need to, and you'll be good to go. Trust me. Also, like we all say, make sure to always do the self learning process, or just get yourself enrolled in a boot camp and pick it up from there. You don't need to have any experience before you go into the software testing world. I
Okay,
don't know.
so
I hope I was able to answer that.
yes. Someone wait, you said the question is not transition, how to include and what is necessary. I think, see, this thing, Clancy, this question is not a one-way thing. For example, Stella explained that she understood her strength, which is she knows how to to fetch out errors or fish out problems, and that helped her. So that might not be the same for you, which is why there's no one size fits all shoe. Now, talking about what skills to adapt, generally there are skills you can adapt if you want to go into testing, no matter the background you have. What matters is that you have passion for it and you are willing to commit time into it. So there is no like one size fits all, because someone else might be transitioning from medicine and also want us to give like tailored answers, which is not possible, right? So what matters is, do you really like it? Have you made your research? Is it something you think you can go further into, or something you can dip your foot into the waters? And are you willing to commit time to it? Because it's okay that everybody is saying, oh, I want to go into this, I want to go into that. When it's time to commit time, many people start running or start dodging time or assignment or project. For example, in Travel Tech Academy, once you enroll, yes, we give certification, and our company or academy is registered both in UK and in Nigeria. So we are globally recognized. But the point is, you don't get your certification unless you complete your project in Travel Tech Academy. So even if you paid, you don't get your certification, you don't get the certificate until you complete your project. Because many people say, oh, I've paid, just give me certification, let me move on with my life. It's not possible, right? You need to do these projects that will help us know that you really know what you are doing, right? So you need time and commitment to also get to adapt into the know-how of the career itself. So that's what I would say, Classy. And then I would just like to say that on the chat box, Someone from Travel Academy, one of our staff members, has dropped details to join our WhatsApp communities and our Telegram community. We have over 5,000 people on our WhatsApp community. We have over, I think, 6 groups. Telegram community to we have a number of people there too, so you can join. Then on our IG and we have almost 14,000 followers. So we're not, I mean, we're not here to sweet mouth you or something. Also, there the prices for both UI UX and quality software testing is on the chat box too. For Travel Academy, if you are wondering how we operate our programs, you enroll for the boot camp, right? For software testing, we have both manual and automation. Now, manual alone is 60,000 naira, which includes training and mentorship. What does it mean? Training is 2.5 months for software testing, and mentorship is another 3 months, which is another 12 weeks. Because we're not just going to leave you alone after the boot camp to go and sort yourself out. No, you get mentors, people that are already on the field, to show you, okay, how can you revamp your CV? How can you do this? How can you apply for jobs? Like Stella mentioned Upwork, how can you get freelancing gigs? What certifications do you also need? What exams do you need to take and all of that? That's what the mentorship stage entails. Now, if you want to do automation after the manual, then you're going to be required to pay 100,000 naira, which includes training and mentorship to both for manual and automation. Now, you cannot do automation without manual. That's why there's a joint fee. Because if you think you just want to do automation without manual, it might be something very, very, very demanding. So, manual and automation is the best thing we advise. And we are not currently admitting for only automation now. So maybe you have done manual and lab bootcamp and you want to do just automation now. We're currently admitting for just manual or manual and automation. So it's going to be a long thing. For automation, people that want to do just automation, the admission is going to start in June. Yeah. And then there's a number for the admin. Now for UI UX, it's 3 months training, and that 3 months after that you also get a 3-month mentorship also, which is free. Where you also get about CV review and all of that. Now, once you pay, you also get certification for both software testing and UI UX. Now, UI UX training and mentorship only is 65,000 naira. That's 6 months altogether, because the training is 3 months, the mentorship is another 3 months. That's 65,000 naira. Now, if you want to do internship after your training, we also do internship. Yeah, we have a number of companies that are Travel Tech Academy is not the only company in travel technologies. There are other companies, and there are also other partnership companies that we have, also friendly companies that we have partnership with. So you can get gigs there for internship, and so you're going to pay money for that to get experience, so that you don't just enter the job market without prior experience, right? Like what Gentle said earlier, someone got 50,000 naira offer, and that helped her to get the 250,000 naira. Imagine she stayed and she just wanted to get the 250K directly. It might not work like that, right? So the internship plus mentorship and training is 90,000 naira. So that's that. And for both tech careers, registration stops April 10, which is on Wednesday. And like I said earlier, our fees are affordable. Except your definition is affordable of something I don't understand. In Nigeria of today, paying 65,000 naira or 60,000 naira for something that can fetch you money later is not something too much. For example, the minimum wage in Nigeria now is 33,000 naira. And of all the people that I've talked today, none of them mentioned that you get paid minimum wage. So this is something worth it. You go to university for 4 years or 5 years like Abibola, and at the end of the day, how much will they give you? Right? But this is something that gives potential. So I don't think it's too much for you to sacrifice 60,000 or 65,000 naira for something that will help you. Right? So that's my own 2 cents. So you can send get the admin number, WhatsApp number on the screen. Please don't call us during weekends. You can send a WhatsApp chat. Then follow us on Instagram, join our WhatsApp community and all of that. All right. Now let me take Gentle for the second question. Is there more elaboration you can do on difference between software testing and automation? Sorry, manual and automation.
Yeah, so I I just try another attempt, right? Because sometimes you might not perfectly get the kind of understanding you need until you take the course. And that's just the truth. But I will try another attempt to explain that. So typically, I use e-commerce websites like maybe Jumia, and I want to believe majority of us on this call have done something on Jumia or a similar thing. So in Jumia, what happened is that when you want to, like a typical user story, is that the user wants to sign in or sign up, then wants to be able to browse through the list of items on the website, wants to add items to carts, wants to be able to check out, make payments, and see the details of their order. So if that is like a user story, then how do we test this? So we have the first part where you need to sign up. You have the part where you need to browse through the items that are listed. Then you want to be able to make payment for this item. Then you want to be able to track, like see and confirm that, okay, somebody's working on what you want. So in the manual test, what you do is that you go to Jumia website on a browser, maybe on your phone or on your laptop. And when you go to that website, you would be able to sign in. You provide all your details that is being specified there. And when that process is successful, then you are able to browse through the list of items on the website that suits you, and you are able to add them to carts by maybe clicking add, or add to cart. I don't perfectly understand what is currently there. And when you do that, you see those items in carts. Then you're able to go to carts. You see the total if you want it delivered at your doorstep, or if you want it, if you want to pick it up somewhere closest to you, and then you go further to make payment. It could be pay on delivery anyways, and then you have that order in process. So if you're doing a manual test, that means you need to go and do all of that manually. So as I said before, this is a human being checking this thing manually. So when you do it, if it's all fine, then you would say, okay, that works well. If there's any deviation from what is being expected, then we know that, okay, there's a bug, and then we need to report this bug to the developers to get it fixed. So that's how a manual test works, right? Now, in an automated test, and this I just explained, it might take you maybe 1 minute to go through all of that. And then we have multiple scenarios, right? You may be doing this for multiple kind of user, depending on the user categories that exist anyways. Now, in an automated test, what happened is that you are not going to do it yourself, right? There is a tool which I mentioned that I just use machine to mention it, but typically there's something we call Catalan Studio, there's something we call Cypress, there's another one, Selenium WebDriver or Selenium Framework anyways. So now these are all software that are able to automate this process, right? So what happened is that we are going to give instruction, maybe for example, we are using Cypress. We are going to give instruction using Cypress and telling Cypress to go to a certain web page, which is Jumia website. We are going to tell Cypress to click on sign up. We'll tell Cypress to provide certain details we want it to provide. We'll tell it to proceed. We'll tell it to choose certain item we want it to choose. And then we'll tell it to go to cart, and we'll tell it to check out and complete the order. So this is an instruction we are giving to a machine. So what happened now is when I give the instruction to the machine and I've provided the environment for the machine to work, I just need to press a button, and this test will run in less than 5 seconds. Now, this is something that if you are doing manually, it could take you maybe 2 minutes to get it done. So Cypress will do it for you in less than 5 seconds, right? So let's say you had 1,000 test cases that you want to run out. Imagine you're doing it manually, and you are doing maybe each test case takes you 2 minutes to run. So you have like 2,000 minutes. I don't know how many that is in hours anyways. So you have all of that time, but Cypress is going to run all of these things in less than in less than 2,000 seconds, right? So that's the difference. That's what it is, right? So the reason why I won't start going into line by line kind of explanation is because this is something we will reserve for those who will be taking the course. But for your question, I think this can do. So that's the difference between a manual and an automated test. You spoke about functional tests, unit test, and all of that. You know, you are talking about so many things, right? These are all like so many things that I don't think we need to start talking about all of that. But just to give us a bit of context, when we are dealing with functional tests, you are basically checking the functionality of the software, which is what the software is supposed to do. Whether you are doing that manually or you are doing that like automating the process is up to you, or is up to the objectives of the testing in the first place. So what functional test does is just to check the functionality, which has to do with what the software should do. Now, what a non-functional test would be checking is the performance of these functionalities. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you are trying to sign up on Jumia and it worked, right? So that's fine. That's a functional test. Kudos, that went well. Now, when we come in to start testing the performance of that functionality, I want to check if we have a user base, like say 5 million users are available on the platform every second, for example, then I want to check if 5 million people tries to sign up at the same time, would the system be able to work well? You know, what you test before was just one person signing up and it was fine, which is the functional test. But now we are checking how the performance of that functionality is. So when we attempt to sign in 5 million users at the same time and the system crash, or the website disappears from the network, or something happened, then we know that that's an issue. So that's like a non-functional test. As I said before, we need a coordinated environment where we sit down, teach this thing from the little piece to the greater piece so that you can really understand. But this is just to give a response to the questions that you asked. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gentle. So I hope Classic got that. You must get it because um thank you so much, Gentle. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to take a question. You're rounding off now. We're rounding off now. I'm going to take a question, two more questions. One from Alexander Ikani. Alexander, can you unmute yourself and speak?
Yo, good evening, everyone. My name is
Uh-uh.
Alexander.
Yeah, are you a tech bro already? Because you're already using Stella's word, yo. You are not a tech bro. Drop the word for the end of the word.
I'm okay. Basically, I'm actually a young. I don't like saying junior, but I'm a young UI UX designer, right?
So you're
So
allowed to be.
basically, my question here is as regards branding and positioning yourself, right, for opportunities. I don't know if our speakers can just help us just elaborate more. You know, everybody have how he or she how it worked for them. Like some people maybe as it just I know someone who immediately just finished a particular course, like he got a job immediately now. I think was paying about $1,500 and all like that. So I don't know if they could just share like how it worked for them. Did they wait for months? Like did they come to a point they were like kind of discouraged and should I just continue this thing or immediately just finish? I don't know if you get the question, but basically how to position yourself for jobs and freelance and all like that. I don't know if the question is clear.
Hmm. It's clear. I shall know that you like money, Alex. Okay,
I love
Abimbola. Abimbola, in the next 2 minutes, just give us an idea of did you ever feel discouraged and how did you position yourself over time to land the jobs that you got or the gigs?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, the way you were just so ready to jump on the call and like you, yeah. Okay. Yes. Remember when I started the introduction? I said since I stepped into the room of UIUX and I was unable to look back, but it's been up and down. But all in all, it has been exciting, right? So when I said those things, I meant everything I said, meaning that it's been up and down. So for beginners, for newbies, for junior level, it can be quite tough because coming from you're coming from a boot camp or whether it's self-learning boot camp, and you really might not have enough work to show for it. You might not have enough life projects to show what you've been able to do. Aside the things that we see on your portfolio, we want to see that yes, this person has done this. Okay, even if he's in this situation, he'll be able to handle this. And so I think that thing is general, it's everywhere. Some people are not ready to give beginners a give them opportunity, they start doubt. And so those that are ready to give opportunities are few. And so in this field are ready to give opportunities for new beginners, for the newbies, right? You need to it's like survival of the fittest. You need to be very good in the hard skills, meaning that the hard skills for the UI/UX skills. For the soft skills, your soft skills like effective communication, time management, attention to details, you should be able to communicate very well. And then it's a mindset thing too. Everybody's journey is different. Ayo's journey is different. My journey is different. So for me, okay, it was from one boot camp to another boot camp. I mean, I did a lot of training before I could really, really certify myself that yes, no, I mean, you are good to go. In fact, I was doing training for senior UX designer and I was still not applying for jobs because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm a perfectionist. I want to be very good before I do some things. I want things to be very good, and at the same time these things can mean two different things. Like it can make or mar you in the sense that to be a perfectionist is good to some extent, but then there are sometimes that you need to have put yourself out there. Even if you are not even ready yet, you want to see what are your chances. You want to get familiar with the process. And so it's not really about only hard work, but smart work. How do you want to put it? So a practical example, let me enough of the theoretical part, is LinkedIn works. Many are times now, because of the way I've optimized my LinkedIn profile, I really do not search. I might just need to create a post around something and I'll get recruiters in my DM, or maybe engage some posts or engage some company posts. And that's because of the way you've built yourself. For others, they might need to actually do the work of searching, going to look for remote boards, to search and all of those things. So it's not a one-way thing, depending on what you've been able to find that works for you over time. And if something is not working, then be ready to be flexible. Change it, change your strategy towards it. All in all, for any skill, like I said, you should be able and ready to sell yourself. So even if you are given 30 seconds to pitch what you do, be ready. Just like the way you said this is the question, and then immediately I just said, oh, okay. And then you're like, yo, yeah, I mean, be ready. Be ready that so when the opportunity comes, you are the first person we'll see.
Thank you so much, Abimbola. I think that was very, very practical. Thank you. So we have just 4 minutes left, and I'm going to take the last question now. Um, okay, Abiodun, I replied you already. You would like to enroll for software assurance. So I dropped the admin's number on the I dropped the link on the chat box. Just click on the link or message that number on WhatsApp to enroll for any of our programs. Let me just take the last question for tonight. I think there are no hands up. Nice one, nice one, nice one. All right, so we have come to the end of today's session. First off,
Sorry, my laptop went off. Okay, first off, I'd like to send, maybe my laptop is tired. I'd like to send a special appreciation to Abimbola, Stella, and Gentle. Thank you so much. You three, you guys were very amazing, and I really enjoyed myself. This is not just me asking questions and waiting for answers. You both is for two people. You trio did amazingly well. You were very practical, especially Stella and Gentle and Abibola, especially three of you. You thought I would mention one person, no, especially three of you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for opening our eyes. Thank you for giving us money, insights, talk. Thank you for letting us know the practicality of your careers, the ups and downs and all. And to everybody that made it a date, because we started, we were about 98 and down the line. Thank you so much for everyone that joined and waited up until this point. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all listening to me. Owonifari Ajibola, you are going to collect top badge. You know the way Facebook gives top badge follower? Because you were very, very interested and engaged. Thank you. Classy, Alexander, those that asked questions and let us hear their voices. Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you all and speaking with you all. So once again, if you want to enroll for any of our courses, you can chat up the admin or go to www.traveltechng.com. So traveltechng.com, and you can see details of all of our courses. Also, we have WhatsApp communities and Telegram community. You can join. The links are on the group chat, and you can follow us on Instagram to get up-to-date information about Traveltech Academy. All right, once again, thank you so much for joining everyone. It was nice being here. Have a good night rest if you are in Africa, and if you are not in Africa, make sure you have a great day ahead. Sleep tight, everybody. Gentle, Stella, Abimbola, thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye. Thank you to the person that said thank you, Ayo. All of them did not thank me. You're only thanking the tech people. Thank you, Jare.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.